Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whenever you come across this video, thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of time with me. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscribes. Everyone who's booking, making purchases off the website, pledges to the Patreon, sending things to the P.O. Box, purchases off the wish list, and tipping the Clarista. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys so much. Okay, so there's an energy of like something doesn't feel right. Like I almost want to say like doing the message right now doesn't feel right, but I think that that's actually part of the message. That something it might, I don't know, it might not feel right, whether it's just something that you're doing or something that somebody else is doing here. Okay. Um, yeah, there's like this energy of you planting some sort of seed, but then when you like overwater something, right? It may not. So there's something about maybe overwatering something. This could be literal, right? You could be overwatering something. Um, and this could be like just putting too much energy into something or checking on something or because I feel like it's like, you don't want to, but there's something about, especially, so we have the ocean, the seed, and the hunter, right? And the energy that I'm getting off of this is like, there's something that I feel like you're creating, okay? Or a seed that you've planted. Um, but you could be checking on it quite a bit, or there's something about with this hunter energy. It's like, plant the seed, right? Water the seed, and then like, kind of do something else, right? But I feel like the seed's already been planted here. Um, yeah. Yeah, there's something about you being like, this could be, you could feel like you're like climbing some sort of mountain here or moving mountains, and it feels like you're maybe higher up than you anticipate. Yeah, we have this divinity coming out here. Yeah, it feels like there's something you could keep checking on. And I feel as though there's really a space where you need to allow it to grow, right? Allow something to breathe, allow something to gain momentum. So it's like, don't completely ignore this, right? You want to add and put energy into it, probably, depending on what it is, like on a daily or weekly basis or something. But there is this energy of like, don't let it consume you, right? Because then that's creating resistance. There's an energy of maybe coming out of like lack in the way that if you are like uh, keep checking on something, right? It's like the watch pot never boils, that type of energy. But there's some sort of resistance that's created with that, some sort of like lack or yeah. So it's like you're being encouraged to trust the fact that that you've planted the seed, that you've watered the seed, and that you can step away from whatever it is and that it will grow, right? There's like something about surrendering something to the divine here, okay? Also, too, if there is some sort of like worry about family or in particular like children, there's something about maybe children or family members kind of going through their own cycles at this time. Okay, know that your family is very protected. Okay, there's like this energy of like learning some sort of lesson. Okay, and you could feel at like as a parent, you could feel some type of way about maybe the lesson that they're learning or something like that. But trust that this is a part of their divine path, right? They chose you as a parent for a reason when it comes to their certain lessons. So rather than feeling disempowered by the lessons that they're learning, right, that they chose to learn coming here, right, feel empowered by the fact that they chose you to help walk them down this path is something that's coming through here, okay? Because I feel like there's maybe some parents that are feeling, whether your children are young or older, you could be feeling a little bit disempowered maybe by like decisions or something that they're making here, or like, I'm hearing like the way that they're behaving, or who they're interacting with, um, the things that they're getting into, right? There's also an energy too of maybe like leaving some like things that this could be, say for instance, somebody has a child that's been like playing some sort of sport, like I'm picking up on like, a school sport or like football or something like that for a really long time, and maybe they're like pulling away from these things that you may feel are good for them, that are structured for them, right? I'm also picking up, maybe you have a child that could be older, that could be leaving some sort of like church or some sort of community. Trust and know, right, that all of these energies are, being led down a certain path for their own specific reasons. But again, rather than feeling disempowered or feeling like you may have done something wrong, right? Feel empowered in knowing that, these were like life lessons that they planned on. This was like written you know, in the stars, for them, right? Written in their Akashic records. And so there's like this energy of, but they chose you as a parent, right? To, to help guide them through this. So there's something very like life altering when you can shift your perspective, because there is this like, yeah, we have this awakening here. Yeah, because you could be expecting, um, for something to go in one direction. This could be like a sun in particular, doesn't have to be, right? You could expect, because we have awakening, we have expectation with karmic masculine, right? But then there's the earth angel, right? So there's like, it's like you could be expecting, a son or a daughter, to go in a certain direction, but there's something about your guidance, I'm just picturing like, two people like holding hands, right, and walking down a path that is so um specific to them, I'm hearing, and so unique, that it is like, life altering for them. It's life altering for like generations to come. There's some sort of healing in the way that you guide your children, and it may be unique, it may be, against the grain, I'm hearing, okay? But there is this, it's like, trust this process, okay? Trust that you have been prepared, okay, for this. And it's not to say that, for a lot of you, I don't feel like it's like long lasting, right? This isn't like a life sentence. This is just a season or a phase that a child is going through, no matter the age, right? And you could just be very concerned. And it could be, it could be like causing you to like get in your head, or there could be some like bad self-talk that's happening, or like I'm hearing, like, where did I go wrong, or there's all these different things that it could be. But I feel like this message is a strong reminder, right, that we've all chose our own lessons, and to change your perspective and knowing that you were chosen to guide them through these lessons, which should really, it's a very humble empowering kind of drop to your knees, like, thank God type of energy, right? Like there, when you can shift your perspective, um, it doesn't feel, it feels less downhill and it feels more, as in you're still climbing, right? Because I'm kind of getting this energy where maybe some of you are feeling as though, it was like you rather than climbing uphill, right? To achieve something, right? You maybe felt as though something kind of went left, right? And it started as though it was like going downhill again, but it's not that. It's not that at all. Okay? Okay. I don't think this is the whole message. I think that was just something very important that somebody needed to hear here. Okay? Yeah. You have a very like divine family here. Okay? Like your whole family is very protected, okay? Um like it feels like each and everyone has a purpose, everyone has a purpose, but it feels as though each one of you, there's something very like significant, right? About what you and maybe your children have to do here, whether it be for the bloodline or it be for, the collective. It's probably all the same, right? It's all the same. So there's, it feels very divinely led here. Okay. Hmm. Okay. There is also something too about you kind of creating, a path. There's something about some sort of like occupation, like family business, or like for some of you, I feel like your children are going to follow in your footsteps in some type of way when it comes to career, occupation, business. And not that that matters, but it is coming up here, right? This could also just be talking about literally, like I said, right? Like where it's like your job in this lifetime, according to the divine, right? Because these earthly careers, they stay here. You know what I mean? Granted, it's like imprinted on your soul and things like that. But as far as your divine occupation, it is very significant where I feel like it's, you and your children are breaking, generational curses, just as your parents and your grandparents have before you. Like, maybe not all of you, when it comes to parents and grandparents, but yeah, it's like, there's something significant about your children also taking on certain things, um, for their children, um, as kind of like a teamwork. So it wasn't all on you, right? But choosing you to like help guide them through this, right? It's like very much all intertwined. It's all, divinely constructed and very intricate. And, so there is this energy of like, kind of some guidance here of like taking some pressure off. you know what I mean, of yourself, um, when it comes to, lessons that your children go through, right? Obviously, we want to lead by example. We want to be the best example that we can be for our children. Um, but whoever this message is for, I feel like, there's worry here. And you could just be really, there's a lot of self blame, maybe. And I think there needs to be a shift in perspective, okay? Hmm. I am picking up too. There's been some sort of blocking of some sort of like abuse here. There could have been some sort of attempted humiliation or something like that. It's almost like two people that were claiming to be very spiritual, but it's like they're very intelligent. Do you know what I mean? So it's like they may know a lot of things. Um, Something about a surprise with a house here. It's like, there's this expectation with this like priestess and this priest energy, right? Somebody's third eye kind of being turned on here. But the reality is this is someone, king and queen of the ice king and the ice queen, right? King and queen of swords here, right? Very intelligent people who know a lot about a lot, right? Um, so they may not have their own. There's something about lacking like their own personal relationship with their higher power, the divine, whatever you want to call it here, okay? These people could have been trying to send some sort of evil eye or trying to humiliate you or something like that, okay? Um, but I feel like because you are probably this priest and this priestess energy, right? It's like it was blocked, right? Because we have the blocked with abuse, this king and queen of swords here with this, yeah, but I feel like you were expecting, I don't, you know, tell me what's the surprise with this house here? What's the surprise with this house? For the collective, please. The ancestors are definitely bringing something together here. Okay. Um, there's been some sort of false narrative, okay, where I feel like somebody is intuitively seeing through some sort of false narrative here, okay? Maybe when it comes to a house, um, There's also something about like I don't know if like somebody's going to buy. There's a higher level connection here that you may meet through. It could be a house party, right? Could be I'm seeing like somebody like a house showing, right? This could be I don't know. But there's something where I feel like your ancestors are involved. Okay. I guess it doesn't have to. Uh, there's something about like I want to know what's about this false narrative here. Boss and jealousy. Did somebody say that you were jealous of this boss energy? Also, something about health concerns. Did somebody say that you were trying to manifest some sort of health concerns for someone because you were jealous? Dude. This is like someone saying that you were trying to do. I feel like somebody was trying to claim that you were trying to take something or like do something here. Because you were jealous or envious of someone or what they had. Oh, excuse me, Maui. Yeah, but there's someone else that's like, this may involve a house. There's definitely someone else that is seeing through something, or there's it's almost like this false narrative is somebody, the ancestors are like, or this person's intuition is like, I don't know about that. And I feel like they may be getting some sort of evidence about that here, or something along those lines. Interesting. There is something too about a surprise, like connection or something forming here. All right, let's see. Final messages about this. Yeah, I feel like if we're going back to the seed, right? Something is taking quite some time here with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, and I feel like you've, kind of done put in a lot of work here. Spiritually, energetically, in the physical. Ooh. Hello, Ace of Cups. That's what I'm saying. Some sort of surprise. It was still in the deck, right? And I looked down and it was there, and I was like, oh, hello, Ace of Cups. It's like there's something like that. And this could have to do with a house. This could be at someone's house. It could be a surprise party. There could be, a gathering at a house. There's something, again, some sort of real estate sale or open house, or there's something here, okay, where, and you may travel to this. Yeah. Or there may be travel involved. There's like this Five of Cups, the devil energy here that's trying to get in between you and this Ace of Cups, and in between you and this Chariot and this Ace of Cups here, going towards this Ace of Cups. But it's coming, right? Like, the seeds have been planted. Yeah, it seems like there is, energy or forces or something that, because it's like all around, it's great, you know? But there's this like one thing in the middle, and I really feel like it may be tied into, because again, this is connected with a home here, or a house, a family, something like that, right? Where it just is like the Five of Cups, the Devil, the Seven of Swords, the Four of Wands here. There's like some sort of illusion that could be creating this like shadow, it could be bringing out the shadow here, right? You could be being really hard on yourself, something like that. It's like there's something here that you're moving through. But you're going to come out running, right? You're going to hit the ground running on the other side, because there is some sort of like, yeah. I mean, the Chariot and the Strength. Okay, and in this card, the Strength is running, literally running, right? But there's a destination, right, that you reach that really brings in this like version of you. Ace of Cups, the high priestess here. It's like this perception change really allows you to step into like a higher version of yourself, like allows there to be some sort of like deeper integration and some sort of overflow. This Ace of Cups, right? This some sort of spiritual gifts as well. Some sort of like integration with your higher self, it seems. And this comes from within you, right? So it makes sense that you're kind of going through this here with this like perception shift. It's going to have you, with this, it's going to have you coming out running on the other side, right? Hit the ground running. Excuse me. Something that you did in the past is coming back to reward you here. I almost wanted to say haunt you. So for some people, something that you did in the past may kind of be haunting you. I would move through that here. That may be associated with this perception here. Yeah, we have the Five of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Justice. Something changes very suddenly. 575 might be significant. I've got a lot of fives out here. 555. Big significant change, and I feel like it happens very quickly. To go from like the five of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Five of Wands energy straight to the Justice is like, this is like instant retribution, right? Liberation. Yeah. But it may seem like that on the outside, but you've done a lot of internal work here. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there. I think we kind of covered quite a bit here. And Maui says, that's right. It's time to go. Okay. All right, guys. Well, if you need anything from me, that's in the description box below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. I love you guys so much.